This is part two of homework zero. So this is installation of Visual Studio Code and importing and along with the important extensions. And then the other part is preparing the kernels in the environment for Python coding. So as you can see, I already have Visual Studio Code installed. I use VS Code for my own personal development and projects. So here it is in my Windows. Um, Computer. You can see VS Code here in the start menu. So so that was installed prior to this course. So that was step one. And the next step was to install Anaconda, which I already had Anaconda already installed prior to the course. And so step two is to create the Anaconda virtual environment. So as you can see, here's Anaconda. We're going to open up the command line. We'll just do the regular prompt. I often do the PowerShell, but some of these steps. So this is referring to creating the virtual environment in the Jupyter kernel as described in lecture one slides. So some of these steps I've already gone through. I had some issues doing this since I'm on a Windows machine. So some of these things might be redundant, but I'm going to go ahead and do them again for the purposes of this video. So this is slide 45. So this is creating the virtual environment in Python using Anaconda. So Anaconda package manager name Python. And I currently have Python 12 is in 3.12 is installed. We'll go ahead and just do it again. And we can see Python 12. Yes, we'll proceed. And we'll activate it. Okay, so the virtual environment is now activated. The next slide is installing the Jupyter kernel in the Anaconda environment. So we'll go through. Following code snippet is provided in slide 46 of lecture one. And again, I did go through these steps prior to this recording, so some of it already might be completed, but we'll just do it for the sake of documentation. Okay, we can see the Python environment. Now we will install Jupyter. Okay, now we're on to step 4. This is installing the following packages from the command line after activating Conda environment. Okay, so we'll see the environments. This is on Windows, so it's a little instructions are a little different than provided in the homework prompt. See what environments are listed. Um, okay, we have the Python environment. This was the one we just created. Um, I believe we can make sure it's activated through this command here. Yeah. Okay. Now the next step is to install these other packages. So the command here is it's with pip, but I believe we're going to use conda, and I don't know if this command will work for all packages. So we're going to conda install pandas, matplotlib, torch, seaborn, scikit-learn, and pygame. I believe that torch, scikit-learn, and pygame will not install through this command. I've already gone through this earlier, but we're just going to try it. And then I have some other commands from the Anaconda online documentation. So we'll try this. I'm actually going to do this in the PowerShell. 1 second. I'm going to pause this while these install. Okay, seem to have successfully installed everything this time, using pip instead of the condo. So I'm going to just assume that it's good for now. There's some other documentation I looked, say with from the PyTorch website. Say if I want to run on the GPU and it gives me these commands, using Windows, and similarly with scikit-learn and um, Pygame. But I'm not going to worry about it right now. I'm just going to move on, and if there's issues later, um, implementing these using these packages, then we'll deal with it then. Okay. The next part is to use Visual Studio Code and use some extensions. So we go back to VS Code. Some of these I already have. So in my extensions, let's get out of the marketplace for a minute. So the Python one is recommended. So if we go look here, the Python by Microsoft and PyLance, I have those installed prior to this course. The same with the Jupyter. So I installed Jupyter extension. But if we just go to the do a library search, we'll see that. So here's the Python and PyLance. I already have those. And Jupyter. So I have Jupyter. The next one is Jupyter Notebook. And if I search for that, I get the only one that comes up is this VS Code Jupyter. Oh, that's not by Microsoft. So we're looking for Jupyter Notebook by Microsoft. Um, so this one I have installed. I'm a little confused as to what the Jupyter Notebook that's separate. Let me just search under Jupyter again. I thought yesterday I saw. Usually when you download a package, it will download associated packages and dependencies, VS Code. Yeah, see, I have all these. These are already installed. Everything by Microsoft. Yeah, I'm going to assume I have all the whatever the notebook is referring to, because this one here is not, these aren't Microsoft developed extensions. So I'm going to assume step 6 is done and move on. If there's an issue, we'll just install it later. The next task is to create a new file and save it as IPy uh, INB. It's a new file, Jupyter Notebook file. So it says, then we'll see if we've imported these with Torch. Let's see what that issue is. So the other thing is also to select the kernel. So we will save this. Let's go to scores. Just code examples. So we'll title this VS Code Mark 0. Okay. And we go to select the kernel, and this is the environment we had created. Yeah, we're probably gonna have issues. I can see the editor's flag, the text. Oh, okay. Received no errors, so it seemed to execute correctly. I'm gonna assume that that part is done. I have saved this file according to the directions. So yeah, it looks like we have successful execution. Um, yeah, so I will upload this. I think the next step is to this file will be added to um, the local repo, and then we'll probably push it to the remote repo for this course in GitHub. So yeah, I will upload this video to the YouTube, and the URL will be included in the homework document. Thanks.